Yo, what's going on YouTube? Clark Bishop here. Today we're going to be talking about my top 3 gimbal shots. I've been using this Ronin for 3 years and I love it. But nowadays I've been seeing people doing the same type of Ronin shots, just too simple, pull in, push out, just moving with the video and all that. Those are getting played out, and today I'm going to be giving you my top 3, what I like doing the most and what's different and dynamic about it. Because it's Clark's Visions over here. Go Take Media. Baby. So let's talk about it. My first favorite gimbal shot is the revolving shot. You get a subject, you put them in a place, whether it's talent or artist, and you revolve around them. You just running in circles. You just running in circles. You keep running. But at the end of the day, like, that shot just looks amazing because the artist is following the camera or the talent is following the camera, and it just gives a different dynamic. It's like this parallax effect with you spinning around, especially when you got stuff in the background like trees or something. It looks so cool. It looks so sweet and dynamic. Like, yo, that's tight. So, like, remember, number 1, revolving. I love that shot. Sometimes I try to not do it too much because I like it so much. I feel like that's one of my signature shots. So you can use this either like wide or tight. You can go wide as possible, but the tightest I say about a 50 millimeter. You don't want to go too wide on that. And when I'm shooting this, I like to go in a manual focus. I don't like to use auto because auto tries to track a face and it's just too much going on. So just set your distance you want to be from the subject and just keep spinning, keep going, keep going. Second, it's the crane shot. I like to use the gimbal as a crane, like a makeshift crane. I use my body as a crane. So that's whether I'm going from high to low or low to high, and I'm walking back and forth with the subject. It just adds something different that nobody sees. Like, to go all the way low to all the way high, it's like you got an airy trinity or something in your hand. Like, people are like, yo, what's he shooting on? But it's just my old Ronin M. The Ronin M, like, everybody got a Ronin M, but you got to use it to, like, the best ability, especially if you got the tilt on it. So, like, say you go low to high with a tilt, that's just an amazing shot that nobody doing out there. You gotta just use this gimbal to the best of its ability and get as much out of it as you can. Because I don't know, I'm just talking. You don't gotta listen to me. So, but the crane shot it just adds a different element to the video, because from one moment you can be going like right into the subject's face to all the way above them, and like you wouldn't know like what's going on. And this one video I did with Paris Noel, we was on the stairs and I used the gimbal as a crane. Like, at one point, me walking up the stairs, I actually went like fully like vertical, like right above his head, and he was just looking into the camera rapping. It was like cold. Like, once you get your steps down and you get like the distance from the camera, it's gonna work perfect. With this shot, most of the time I like to go autofocus because I can't see where's the subject with my monitor, because the monitor usually is like at the point where I got it like straight in front of my face. So I just go autofocus, and I trust the autofocus to the best of my ability, and hopefully it is there. If I had a little bit more money or we had a higher budget, we had somebody pull the focus in the back, but that's another day, that's another story. But use your Ronin as a crane. It's gonna get you a lot more dynamic shots, and people, it's gonna just leave people wondering like, yo, what is this dude shooting on? And that's like the thing I like to do. I never want people to know what I'm doing. And like, I remember one time I was watching Indie Mogul. I was watching this episode about cinematic movement. Camera out from Scream, Dan Neese, he had said the best thing to do is make sure the audience doesn't know or doesn't think about the camera movement. Like, that's crazy. Like, to think about like, yo, what is they shooting on? And like, as a filmmaker, we all go into the movie theater thinking like, yo, what is going on here? Like, how's they getting a shot? He said, bro, just move with the artist, move with the talent, and you really don't know until you get into that space. So like, especially with music and doing running guns, you don't know what the artist is gonna do, so you tracking them, and it's like a smooth dance. There's one video I did with Ashley Sorrell. I came over her head over the grocery cart, and me and her were just moving. I didn't know what she was doing, but I knew the song and I knew the type of vibe it was, and it was just like we were dancing with the camera, and everything worked out so perfect. And my last and final camera movement is kind of a cheat code, because it's really not a movement. It's you being on wheels. It's the car rig or skateboard rig or wheelchair rig or whatever type of wheels you can get your hands on. Sometimes it got to be a fee. One time I did a music video, I was running down the street, but I try not to do that anymore because stuff is getting heavier and heavier. But using wheels is such an important like tip or trick or whatever you want to call it. The experts use dollies. They can just dolly or get some traction. They can just go a long time. But for running guns and like small crew, small budget, you got to get your hands on some wheels. So maybe you get a friend and you hanging out the back of their car, or you hanging out the side of their window, or maybe you got a friend that got a wheelchair and you sitting in that wheelchair, or shoot, you on a skateboard. That's all you can get your hands on. Using wheels can like add this smoothness to your shot, especially if it's a long tracking shot and you want to get your subject walking smoothly. And I don't know, you just want to get a long tracking shot. You don't know what you're using it for sometimes. Like maybe it's a driving scene. I did a couple driving scenes. I did one I was in Miami. I did one when I was in Detroit, and I used my feet, and I wanted to use my wheels so bad, but the way the traffic was set up, it just wasn't that. When I'm using my wheel shots, I like to use longer lenses, because you think when you got a wide lens, like, okay, I'm gonna get everything in focus, it's gonna be easy to manage focus, but it's really not, because with that wide lens, the subject is kind of far, because it's really dangerous if that person is close to you. So I like to use a 50 or higher, and I like to find my focus right before I start the shot. You can like try to maneuver and get before the shot, but it's gonna be real difficult. You gotta communicate to your driver and the subject that's driving, or whoever's like on foot, that we gotta stay the same distance from each other. And when I'm shooting that, I kind of just try to stay right in the same frame, but I don't try to do too much camera move. I don't try to move left or right. I try to just stay in position and keep that shot the whole time. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Those are my top 3 camera movements I get with my gimbal. Remember, revolve around somebody, use your gimbal as a crane, and if you can, get your hand on some wheels. Follow me at Clark's Visions. Follow Go Take Media, all on Instagram. Go check out the website at gotakemedia.com, where you can go buy some LUTs and get some presets. Appreciate everybody for watching. If you can hit that like, subscribe, and share this video, it's going to help a lot. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. I said that wrong. Peace. Keep that.
I'm spending all of my dough. I'm spending all of my cash. All this money that I ever had, I put that shit on my tab.